part 2 of our sushi making video. It's rolling time. See? Roll. So today we're going to make two kinds of rolls. One is a California roll and one is a spicy tuna roll. For the California roll, we're going to use what we call a surimi. This is a faux crab. It's basically made of fish, flavored with a little bit of crab. You can get this from your local Asian grocer, so it's readily available. To prep the surimi, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna slice them thinly. If you do have a food processor, that also works, but just have to be careful not to overdo it, or else you'll end up with a paste. So just finely slice that. Make like a fine chop. Because as you put the rest of the ingredients later, this will break down into the consistency that you want. So with the surimi, what we're gonna add is some mayonnaise. So I'll start with 3 tablespoons. Tablespoons. So you gotta taste the flavor of your surimi. Sometimes it's a bit sweet, sometimes a bit salty, sometimes it doesn't taste much really. So it's up to you what you want to put in order to enhance that flavor. So this one is quite sweet actually, which is I find kind of weird. So I'm gonna balance it out with some salt and then some furikake. So furikake, this is a rice topping, a dried rice topping. It has a lot of variants, so you even have a vegetarian one. This is basically made of dried bonito flakes, some nori. Some of them are made with dried dehydrated eggs rather. This is not the consistency that I'm looking for, so we need to add maybe more. I'll get it like maybe, that's about 5 now. I want it to be a bit pasty. It holds its shape. So that is where we want to be, and that filling is done. So the other roll that we're going to make is a spicy tuna roll. So what I have here is just kind of your basic tuna. You can just get any kind from your local store. And then what I want to do is to drain off the liquid, if it is oil or water. So you want this to drain for at least 15 minutes to remove all of that excess water. And then we're gonna add the rest of the ingredients in a bit. So what we want to do with this one is a spicy tuna roll. So I'm gonna put a bit of my chili garlic in there. I used to use a condiment called tobanjan. It's not quite available here for some reason, but if you could find that one, that is the perfect substitute. This one is already a tad spicy, so that's like, don't put a lot of it. And then, so mayo. So I'm gonna start with 3 because we have less tuna. So same with that one, I just want it to be pasty. I don't want to be liquidy of sorts. So that should be enough. I'm just gonna finish it off with a tad of sesame oil for fragrance. And yes, that's it. If you want it to be a bit more spicy, you can definitely add more of the chili. But if you're fine with that tad of spice, then that should be fine. Now we've done most of our mise en place. We're ready to go, and yeah, we'll start rolling our sushis. So the first thing that you need is one of these. So this is a bamboo mat. You can find it in a lot of Asian grocers around. Daiso is a good place to find it. So the reason why we are putting plastic in our bamboo mat is because if you try to put rice and start to roll a piece of sushi roll, it will tend to stick. So you cannot use the mat all over again. Especially when you're making like 5-10 rolls. You don't want to like wash the mat every time. So you can do a double, but this is quite alright. So the first roll that I'm going to make is a version of a California roll. It's basically an inside-out roll, as they would describe it, because the filling is, or the rice rather, is outside. So did I actually say it right? Inside, outside, what? Basically the rice is outside, it's not inside, which is not typical of your rolls. For this specific roll, we will divide our nori sheet into two. So actually, by the way, these are nori sheets. These are dried seaweeds being placed flat, then dried, then voila, nice. This will actually tear apart like so. Just need to fold it, and then you have nice 4 pieces now. One thing that I used to do before was to use gloves when I make this. I know it's not traditional, it's not even the practice, but back when I was doing this on a large scale, we were not allowed to use our hands because of sanitary issues. So now I'm gonna do a bit of oil on my hands, so when I touch the rice it will actually not stick, as you can see. Alright, there are 2 sides. As you can see, there is a rough side and there is a smooth side of the nori sheet. So for the California roll, we're going to use the rough side first. Alright. Okay, we begin with a bowl of rice. You kind of have to measure it, so it takes experience for you to get the amount of rice that you will get. But we'll start with just approximately 120 grams. And then we'll start from the very top edge, top left. Gonna put it there. So what I'm doing right now is pushing the rice lightly on the sheet. Then we're slowly spreading the rice on all the surface of the sheet. It's imperative that you put a balanced amount of rice on all the sides of your sheet. Next is the seasoning part. So a lot people use different kinds of seasoning. One of my favorite is furikake, so we'll just gonna put some in there. This will give a definite look on the sushi roll when it's done. And it also gives that extra flavor. Alright, next is the flipping. So you take one, take the other end, and then whoop. Once we've flipped our rice-filled wrap or rice-filled paper, now it's time to put the filling inside the roll. So I'm gonna put 2 pieces of cucumber on that side. Then I'm gonna start to put the filling. So the important thing is not to overfill it. If you start putting a lot of filling, it will just burst and you're not gonna be able to seal it at all. I reckon this filling is enough. Again, important as well to have enough filling on the sides, because you might end up to have a good filling, a good diameter in the center, but it's not going to be on the sides. So, right. Don't blink. Let's do this. Ha! Ha! I still got it. Right, so we are back on this stage where we are going to make the actual roll. So the first step that you're gonna do is to make sure you align the bottom of your sheet closer, or just leave a bit of a space right here. And then once you do that, you're going to do this motion to the thumb fingers right here at the back, the front fingers right here. So you're going to create somehow like this shape, right? It's gonna be quite tricky at first, but you're kind of pushing these ingredients inside while you're lifting the bamboo mat. So as you tuck in there, you're gonna slowly grab with your right hand and then with your left hand, and then create that tuck. So when I lift this, as you can see, it's starting to form that curl. So once I got that curl, you will feel that at least four sticks of the bamboo, you can actually hold it, and it creates that round and then flat surface. Once you get that, push back, change your hand position, push forward with your left hand, and then push again. Now this is your forming stage, so you're gonna use your 3 fingers, 1, 2, 3, and the 1, 2, 3 of the back to make that form. And then just let it fall. Just have to take note to keep that tuck, or the edge of that tuck sheet on the bottom, so it doesn't lose, or it doesn't become loose. So there's another stage of forming, and there you go. So it becomes stable. So let's do it one last time. First, you scatter the rice. Make sure that there is enough rice, especially in the corners. There we go. Next is seasoning. Just put enough seasoning not to overpower the taste. Give it a bit of a tap so the seasoning attaches to the rice. Make a flip, or do a flip. Get your filling. This time around we're using cucumbers. Lay our surimi mix, and then the trickiest part of all, again, make sure that the bottom of the sheet is about a finger between the bottom edge of your bamboo mat. Lift the bamboo mat with your 2 thumbs. Hold that part of your sushi sheet. Move it inward. Get a hold. Once you've started rolling inward, get a hold of this at the back right here, and then do an overlap right there. So all 3 fingers, all of these 3 fingers helps in the tucking in. The back, the thumb helps on the pushing forward. Slowly with the right hand, lift to check. So once it's all right, push with your left hand so you can drop again the mat in front. So your right hand comes back. Push. Now all 4 fingers on both hands push the mat forward. Lift the front. With your left hand, push slowly to create that rounded shape, and then release. Once you release, find the edge where it ends or where it seals off. Put it on the bottom, roll it on the bottom. Take your mat. Get the mat on that side where it's close to the edge. Give it a bit of a push so it seals up. On the other side, do it as well. Give it a bit of a push. And then the final shaping is on this one. Push down 3 fingers. 1, 2, 3. Push it down. The next roll we're going to do is where the sushi sheet is outside of the roll instead of inside. So we're gonna use a full sheet for this one, and we're going to use our tuna, the spicy tuna filling that we just made. We'll do the same technique as what we did with the California roll, but instead of using half the sheet, we'll do a full sheet. And then this is quite different. So we're going to fill up this sheet up to this part. So there, you can see that there's a small gap line right there. There's a very faint line. That is up to where we're going to fill, or that's how much rice we're going to fill up this sheet. So same technique. Next, we're gonna put some garnishes. So these are sesame seeds. Next, we're gonna put some pickled cucumber. That should be enough. And then we're gonna put our tuna filling. Just have to be mindful because again, this is a bit spicy. So if you put heaps of it, might not work, or it might work for some, but not for the majority. So we'll do the same technique. Hold it on the bottom, same. Grab the area where there's the filling so you can gauge where to tuck it. And then lift it, see if it's stuck. As you go forward, you tuck, push there. And then again, go forward like that. So again, it will have that part where it's not gonna seal off, but you just have to put that part right on the bottom, and then same, we seal the sides. So make that flat. The other side, same. Move the mat, align it with the edge of your roll. Then push it inward. And there is your sheet outside roll. Right, so let's review. Let's put some rice. Again, use the rough side first. We're gonna put the rice, same as the technique we did from the first roll, but we're gonna leave a bit of a space right there. Again, pull, push rice. Next is the garnish or seasoning that you want to put. So now I'm putting roasted sesame seeds. Next, we're putting some pickled cucumbers right there. And then we're gonna put the filling. It's important that you place the filling at the area where you're seeing it right now, because if you try and put the filling somewhere else, you will not be able to do a successful roll. Right, so same technique. Thumbs at the back, middle finger on this part of the filling. Push with your thumb. Hold it with your left hand. Curl. Move it inside. With the help of the 3 fingers, 2 thumbs pushing at the back, move it forward, forward, lift to check if it's tucked in. Grab the bottom part of your mat, push with your left hand as you push the bottom part of the mat downward, forward and downward. And then we curl it like that, push some more, and then release. There you go. Again, we flat the sides. And that is your sheet outside sushi roll. Now the last part before you can eat this is of course you need to slice it. So, sharp knife, very important. We're just gonna wet this with a bit of water. And then, come closer.
Why do you have to put water?
Because if you don't, it's gonna stick. The rice is going to stick on your knife and you cannot cut. So it's gonna be hard for you to cut. Alright, so we'll start from the center. One stroke, pull back. See, that happened. So it's gonna be hard for you to cut another piece. So what I usually do before is tuck it on the same spot. And then for this specific roll especially, we'll cut them into 5 pieces. So it creates 10. So I'm gonna start to cut first a bit on that side, and then I'm gonna cut in the middle. And then I'm gonna cut this one. There, 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 there. Lovely, isn't it? For the smaller California roll, it's a bit different. Just gonna fix. There we go. See, let's just wipe this off. A little bit of water as well. We'll just do this. Chair is noisy. We need to buy a new chair. Okay, same technique. We're gonna go through one in the center. Pair it, cut again in the middle, and then cut the other half into 2, and the other into 2. So you have that. Yes. So it really takes a bit of practice, a lot of patience, and yeah,
A lot of rice.
a lot of rice to be able to make a feast like this. Thank you so much guys for tuning in. I hope you liked the video. I hope you learned something. Let me know how you go, and if you do have a little bit of difficulty, just you can send me a message or a comment and I'll help you to go through it again. Be sure to click the thumbs up button if you do like the video. And of course, click that subscribe button for regular updates from my channel. And as always, let's dig in.